Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 313. It is... Oh, I forgot already. I'm already going the wrong way. See, it's a good thing I was letting you guys know what day it was, because I forgot what day it was. Today is Friday, guys. I mean, what are we doing here? We need to... Oh, man, we have to do this. I'm turning the car around in the middle of the highway here. There we go. It's a small highway. It is Friday, and we need to go to the office to check in. Luckily, I've only driven about a mile and a half. What threw me off here was I'm hearing a little noise from one of my tires, and I think what it is it was so cold last night, the tire was frozen, and it sounds like it is gone now. So once it warms up a little bit, it's more circular, so it doesn't have a little frozen patch on it. So today's Friday, and we have a team meeting coming up soon, and we're heading to the office. We're going to check in, go out the other door like normal, and have the laptop on the chair that will connect to the network, that will signal that I was there. My card being scanned will signal that I was there. Facial recognition will see me walking in, and then we'll go out the back door and head out for the day. Since I'm already going to be there, let me think here, timing wise, I could actually head out to a different casino first, which is out of my way, about 45 minutes each direction, and see what I can find in there, which probably won't be a lot, but the possibility of finding something, and then do the team meeting on my way to my first casino, which would then be my second casino. All of that would mean nothing if I play the play that I'm trying to do today, because it's such a high value, high risk, high variance play. Everything I would do in this area wouldn't really matter. So I'll consider it here. I got a little bit of time before I get to the office, so we'll figure that out. Yesterday, disaster of a day, disaster of a way to end the year. Still possible, but the door is closing on our goal being achieved. But there's nothing I can do. All I have to do is just do what I can and let the chips fall where they may, so to speak. Last night did make that extra $500 and whatever, $422 before going to sleep, and then actually while I was in bed was playing online poker, and made another $250, $260, somewhere in there. So that's something. So today we're going to see what we can do. I'm not sure if I'll do an overnight or not, or at least a very late night, or if I'll come home at the normal time. That's one option. And then this weekend I want to focus on learning crypto trading stuff and educating myself on it, and maybe at least loading money into an account and trying to do a small trade, even if it's just $100 trade, just to learn how to do it. And I'm assuming that people are using margin. It seems like it. I don't know if it's 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, no idea. Remember years ago doing 100 times on gold, and I learned a lesson real quick not to do that, because it took about 10 seconds for it to be gone. But okay, so right now let's head to the office, let's get checked in, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. Today's going to be a scrapper day. We're going to be scrapping around like the old days, like a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. We're going to go around and try to make a little here and a little there. I don't want to keep hitting the same places, so we're going to be doing some extra driving, but we're going to try to make money in different ways, get back to those roots. So had a really rough day yesterday, but it doesn't mean that we have to have a rough day today. And if I'm scrapping around and I make 500 or 1,000 today, I'm going to count that as a positive. Again, I'm done worrying about goals for the year. It's unimportant at this point. Let's go out and make money, and we might actually enjoy ourselves. So, God forbid we enjoy ourselves while we're making money. I went to the office and I was walking in and almost slipped and fell on my butt in the parking lot because it is so slippery. I woke up this morning and there was a little bit of snow on the car, which I thought that was going to be over till the end of the year. It looked like temperatures were going to be high enough, but looks like today it is going to be below freezing all day. Today's high is 24, currently it's 22. The feels like temperature is 7 degrees, and after today it looks like every day we will reach freezing or better all the way through January 2nd and further on. So that's at least good. We don't have to worry about slipping and sliding anymore, hopefully, after today. But right now we're going to head out to a casino. I actually considered not going here because everything would have been wiped out overnight, but I know something that other people don't know about this place, even the locals who are here every day. So we're going to go in there and check some things, and hopefully we come out with a nice profit. I do need to close a couple change tickets. I will do that after that because I just want to get in there as soon as possible before someone else does. I actually could probably close these tickets while I'm driving, and we'll go from there. So one step at a time. Let's go to this casino and see what we can do. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So here we are, walking around here trying to get a play. Walked right by an attendant as soon as I started talking to you. Oh, here's one. You see right now I'm in for 200. I've got an $80 voucher. I'll be back. Alright guys, so 1 minute later we have an $85 voucher, but we're in for 200. So let's walk back here. Back in the far reaches here, then we'll turn around and go to the other side. So, alright, that's where we are right now. I'll be back. Well, I thought it would be interesting just to go through like a play-by-play what I'm doing here. There was a machine that I checked, and there's a okay play, not a great play on it, and it wouldn't take any vouchers or any cash. So I just told one of the attendants who was walking by me about that. So she's going to go take a look at it. We're going to go look at some other stuff, and then we'll come back and take a look at it and see if it has something on it. So I'm sure it will, because no one's played it. But see, there she is, and she's not doing anything about it. So whatever, I'm sure maybe she doesn't understand which one it was. I don't know. People act like they're so genuine, and then she's not even close to it, and there's no way she did it already. Anyway, right now, at this point, we're at 127 out of 200. I'll be back. Alright, so I think I figured out something about a machine that's been kind of a mystery. It's been kind of just a learning process. We know there's something there, but not really sure exactly how it works. But yeah, they didn't fix it. See, she's just a liar, just like everybody else. Anyway, I think I figured something new out about it, which actually is going to make it even less possible to make money from it. It's going to be kind of exposes what your chances are, and unfortunately I'll be playing it a lot less because of it, unfortunately. But anyway, alright, I'll be back. We went down to 34, we're up to 209 at this point. Alright guys, back in the car here. Chilly. Almost slipped again out there. I mean, basically the snow has pretty much melted. There's no snow on the grass anywhere, but there was just liquid left in the parking lots and driveways and stuff like that, and it froze overnight, and now it's like an ice rink. So yeah, I mean, I came back from being down whatever 160, 170, but really didn't make any money. I ended the session ahead, a whopping $10. So I added 2 hours to my day for $10. What are you gonna do? So at this point, we're gonna go back to where we were going to initially, which is now a lot further away, over an hour further away now. Right now it's about 8 o'clock. It'll probably be noon after that, like 1 o'clock by the time we get there. So what do? Do you do it? Do you go all the way there? Do you stay local? Do you play poker? Do you take a day off? I'm not really sure what the answer is. I don't think I have any choice but to do the drive. I hate to do it because so far it's so cold. I can't, unless I want to go home and work on crypto today, which is a possibility. I think this over here. I have my team meeting coming up in a couple hours. Also, we'll have to pull over for that. So we'll think it through. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and it probably, I don't know if it'll be too late by the time you hear this or not, but I posted a video on YouTube about the CFTC, the commodities futures trading, whatever, and basically it looks like we're about to experience what happened in like 1980, where the Commodity Futures Trading Commission basically helped bail out JP Morgan, and it looks like it's about to happen again, where they're going to restrict trading possibly on silver to crash the price of silver, and you cannot buy any new futures, you can only sell them. What that does is instead of people rolling over the futures into newer futures, like the ones that are expiring today and next week, they would have to sell them or take delivery. So if they sold them, normally they would buy futures further out. Instead, if they can't do that, then they would just sell them and hold on to the money, which would mean less demand, which would mean the price would go down. The problem is we have been playing this game where on paper we are trading 300 times more silver than there is physical silver, and the banks are doing this on purpose to keep the price artificially low. So whenever the price starts going up, they flood the market with all these purchases that aren't even real to suppress the price. What that caused, and I think I maybe spoke about it once before, what that caused was people buying silver at those low rates, taking them to India or China and selling them there, where right now it's $66 an ounce in the United States, it's $72 in China, it could be $74 in China. So what's happening is people are actually taking physical silver out of our region, and then there isn't enough to cover the contract. So if someone says, I want physical delivery, there isn't enough, and they're playing this game where England or London and New York are flying silver back and forth across the ocean to make it look like there's enough. So when there's an audit, there's enough silver there, but all they're doing is borrowing it from the other place, and this could create a big problem. So watch the video if you get a chance. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm holding on to my silver. I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to hold on to it. Even if the price crashes, I'm going to buy more. I'm not going to, I want it to crash. I want it to go down to $10 so I could buy tons more, because I know in the long run there's a huge squeeze, and right now we are mining 300 million ounces less per year than what demand is. So they're going to run out of silver, and China's got the market cornered right now. And if you don't know much about it, Mexico also has been limiting new mines going online, and they're letting the old mines expire and not renewing their contracts. So there's going to be about 10% to 15% less silver coming out of Mexico, which is a quarter of the world's supply. So definitely would not buy any kind of paper silver. I would buy physical silver, and maybe short SLV. I'm not telling you to do it. It's what I would do, or buy gold or silver mining actual companies. Personally, I'm going to stay where I am. and just hold on to what I have. Hope the price goes down. The problem is, like back in when this happened last time, 1980 or wherever it was, 1990, whatever. When it happened last time, people didn't want to sell you silver. So okay, silver is whatever $30, but it's 50 in China. So they're charging you a $20 premium, so you're paying 50 here, even though on paper it's only 30. So there may be an opportunity to buy from individuals, which I would be very careful of. I do have an app on my phone where you could actually put a silver coin on your fingertip and tap it with something, and the app would read the vibrations, the sound created by it, and it would tell you what coin it was, and if it didn't match, then you know it's fake. But anyway, I don't want to go too deep into this, but this is something I'm very interested in. You might want to take a look at it. Give me your opinion on it also. I think something big is about to happen in the next 7 days, and we'll see where it goes. I'll be back. One other thing, it's now snowing pretty hard. I guess a couple other things. Snowing pretty hard, and I'm going into the eye of the storm, so to speak, so it's going to get worse. Also, I had my team meeting, and I actually left the team meeting early because my wife got a call from a scammer who said they were from the sheriff's office, and she missed jury duty, and she had to pay a fine, and I'm like, hang up, hang up, hang up. And she finally hung up, and she called the sheriff's office, and they said this is a common scam. They want you to go get gift cards and give them the numbers. And of course she's like, I was wondering why they wanted me to go to this kiosk and get a gift card. I'm like, why would you let it go that far? So luckily she hung up and didn't give them any information, but all they need is your name and address, and then they just call you up with a badge number and a name. And they were actually using a real police officer's name and badge number, so you could look it up, and it really is that person's name and badge number. So they were a little bit wise in that sense, but luckily nothing happened there. But driving into the eye of the storm here. I'll be back. All right, guys, just stretching my fuel here. Looks like we're going to get to the gas station with about -5 miles left, but it looks like we're going to make it. About to get off on the exit. I'm at -4.9 miles. I reset the odometer when it said 0, so we know we can go 5 miles with no gas. Now hopefully I make it through this light and I don't have to sit there because I gotta go over a bridge. No. Well, hopefully we'll make it through the light here without the car dying here, but it looks like we made it. We're gonna get some fuel, and then we'll continue our trip the rest of the way to the next casino. All right, guys, I am back. Sit back and relax and get some popcorn for this one. It was an incredibly crazy, did I mention crazy session? When I was on my way here, I got a call from another AP, and he said, I heard you wanted to play this. Is that true? I said yes. He said, do you want to split it? I said yes. Okay. So he plays the first part. There's like 5 different parts. He plays the first part, maybe 6, and he loses like $185 right away. And actually, did I even mark down? I think I did give him that money. No, I think I didn't put it down though. So I think we ended up losing, actually I think it was 90 each is what he asked me for. So by the time I get there, I'm down 90, right? So he says, okay, well, we're going to wait until you get here to do the rest, because this could get really crazy, because that one was only at $2 a spin, and we've got plays up to $15 a spin here, and I don't want it to get too crazy without you being here. I said, okay, no problem. So I got there like 2.5 hours later than usual, which actually is a big problem because I'd forgotten that my daughter had a party tonight at our house, and I was supposed to take care of the other kids. So that's not good. Anyway, I get there, I'm down 90. So we play one together. It was like $6 a spin, and then another one was $12, and we end up losing a bunch of money. We were down like $370 each, and we were doing 4 people when I got there. I thought it was going to be 50-50, and by the time I got there, it was like, well, these guys won in too. Is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, I guess that's okay. So we were way down, and then we were going to do another higher denomination on the same machine, and the one guy chickened out. So he left. He was down 370. He was just watching us, actually. He didn't actually leave, but he was out of it. So we went 3 ways on the next one, and we won a few hundred, and we ended up down $165 overall. All right. So we decided we're not going to do the even bigger plays that are on there, because it seems like something changed with this machine. We know that there was a recent update, but on top of the update, something actually changed in the last day on that machine. I can explain it to you if you know what you're doing, but I don't really want to say over the air. So we end up walking around looking for other stuff, and I said, guys, I'm really uncomfortable walking around with all of you guys. And so we kind of split up, and I said, look, if you find something, just let me know if you guys want to split it, if it's a big play. So this guy calls me, and I'm just like walking around the tables and stuff like that. I had like $20, nothing really going on. He calls me, he's like, I got this play, and I calculated it out, and I'm going to calculate it right now. Actually, I can do it in my head. It's 450 spins away, okay? 450 spins away from hitting. It's $1,700. It's $3.75 a spin, around $4 a spin, right? It takes so much longer than that. We were in for $1,600. We were actually in for $1,600, which means it was paying like 15%. It was so bad, and it took so long to play it. And by the time we were done, we ended up down each $254. I would have done that play on my own normally. What is going on here? What has happened to this place and their machines in the last week? Something incredible has happened here. Did they get permission to lower their return to player? What happened here? Well, after the first play that we all played, and before this play, we were all going to play this other one. We were walking over to it, and it didn't. We couldn't get to it because there was an older lady just sat down, and she was spinning it. And we're like, okay, we'll come back in a minute. She should be gone. Well, she wasn't gone. She hit the biggest thing on that machine. It's not a grand jackpot, but it's a big thing. And it paid her $6,606. $6,606. She was only in it for a couple $100. And by the time she was done, it was so late in the day. At this point, I'd gone and played some blackjack, and it was just a $25 table, and I was only there for a few minutes because I was back counting, and I ended ahead 150. Right? I came back around. They're still messing around waiting, and I went back, and there was another table. It was also coincidentally $25, but a different table. And that one again, back counting, and again, I made $150. Both of them I was never down. I was just, in the middle there, up a little, even, up a little. So I got, so far what we have is slots minus 90, minus 165, blackjack plus 150, plus 150. Okay, so we're just above even. Then I went and played some 1-3 no limit. Had some decent luck off the bat, and then it was such a boring table, all old men, and nobody was doing anything. You raised, they all fold. If they raised, they had it. I ended up just leaving after about half an hour. I was down $128. All right, so far, not having the greatest day. I leave there, and the slot manager is walking around, and he's been following my friends around and watching them and taking pictures of them and everything, and he's seen me hanging out with these guys. So I walk up to him, and I introduce myself. I said, hey, I'm Joe. How you doing? He's like, all right. I'm like, I just want to tell you, you're the slot guy, right? And he's like, yeah. I said, I just want to tell you, you're doing a great job here. I like what you guys have done with the casino. Then I mentioned 2 or 3 things that he had done that I know he had done, and told him that I appreciate him doing them, even though they actually made my life difficult. And he said, no problem. He said, my whole goal is to make you guys safe. He goes, nobody wants to come here and not be safe. So they implemented the check everyone's ID at the door, and it's going very smoothly. And he said, quote, the goal is to get you guys so used to doing it that you don't even think about handing over your ID anymore. What does that sound like? That's not very comforting. And I talked to him for a few minutes and shook his hand and left. And then went over to where that lady was, still had not gotten paid. It's been so long, it's been like an hour. She had just finished getting paid. We wanted her machine. We sat down. 4 of us split that play. 4 of us. Good play. Ended up each losing $178. What the heck is going on today? So as a group, we lost 90, 165, 254, 178. Like $600 we lost. So, meanwhile, on my slot ticket, I'm down $35. I cash out that ticket, down another $35. And then I decide to go play Blackjack. And Blackjack, oh Blackjack. Blackjack was so entertaining. I bought in 5 times without winning a hand. Can we just like put that in perspective? Let's sit back and think about this. What does that mean? To buy in 5 times without winning a single hand. So I'm down $2,500 without winning a single hand. Then I pushed a hand and I won a hand and lost 3 or 4 more. And things started turning around. And before you know it, I was down at my low point. I was down about 4,000. And by the end of the second shoe, I was down. Let me just do some math in my head here. Actually, I gotta get a calculator to do this because it's actually more complex than that. Minus, I was down 1,500. All right. So. And the reason that it was hard to do the math is because I had chips in my pocket they didn't know about, and I had previous chips in my pocket from the other tables that I was playing with on and off, so I was trying to figure out the true number. So I was down 1,500. Second shoe ends, dealers change, and the card shuffler is not done shuffling. So we played an entire shoe, and we weren't playing that fast. And there were some pauses in there because I had to rebuy a bunch of times. And still, it wasn't done shuffling. So I go over to the table next to it. Well, and actually, as soon as that shoe ended, this guy sits down. And he's like one of these guys that, you know, he's like the biggest loser in the world. He's got that big, goofy, dumb grin on his face. Like the cat that swallowed the canary or something. And he's like, how's it going? I'm like, not good. He's like, oh, bad table, huh? Like, shut up, will ya, huh? And anyway, I ended up leaving that table and going over to the other table. There were actually 4 or 5 tables in this area that were open. This other table was empty. He had a new shoe. Oh, well, he had just finished up his shoe and he was about to put in a new one. I move over there. I take my chips with me. I've got 2,200, I think, in chips, something like that. And I take him over there, and his shuffler's not done either. I said, your shuffler's not done either? He's like, no, it's done, but it takes forever for the door to open. I wait for like a minute and a half, the door's not open. So I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. I'll go to another table. I went to another table, and there was this Asian guy. This guy, he's an older Asian man. Not older, but he's like 60, 65, right? He's not like an old man, but 60, 65. And he is the funniest guy. And he's got this Asian accent, but he's so funny. He's got good English, But you know he's Asian by, you know. Anyway, you can understand 100% of what he's saying. There's nothing wrong with that. But I sit down on his table, win like the first 5 hands in a row. Then the count goes negative. I'm like minimum bet, and I win like 5 or 6 more hands in a row. I'm like, come on now, we're gonna win like 10 hands in a row at minimum bet, 10 more hands. And when I went over to his table, I took the 1,200 in chips and I put it in my pocket. So I had 1,000 on the table. So I knew if I turned the 1,000 on the table, let me think here. See. Into, I gotta look at the calculator again. Into 30, I don't know. Anyway, I need to turn the 1,000 into 1,500. That's all, to get even. All right. I don't know. Anyway. I'm playing, and things are going good. I've got 1,200 in chips in my pocket. Playing, it's going well, it's going well, it's going well. It turns negative. We get a dealer change. I'm hovering around plus 1,200, plus 1,100. I'm like, I don't want plus 1,200. I don't want plus 1,100. I want to kill this place. I want to take this place down. I want to win some big money. And unfortunately, it wasn't in the cards. I mean, literally, it wasn't in the cards. It kept on going negative and negative and negative, and I ended up leaving the table because it had gone so far negative. The other 2 tables, for some reason, still couldn't get the shoe right. So I ended up coloring up and leaving plus 1,600. But they thought I was plus 400. So I'm still, they haven't put an entry in the system, so I don't know if they have no idea or they're just going to put 0 in the system or what, but they really had no clue how much I was in because I was on 3 different tables, and on top of that, I put money in my pocket. So are they reviewing the film? They didn't put anything. I'm looking at the win-loss statement, and they know my name, and they put in nothing in there. So they think I broke even on there. I told them I'll be back for the rest that I'm down. So they must have not bought that, but they put me in for exactly even. But they did actually put me in for sure because I see that they gave me points for being on the table. And honestly, these points are very suspicious, the way they give me points. I'm really not buying it because I think they're just putting me in and just putting in anything because I think they want to put in how much I won or lost. They put me in for 100 points. Wait a minute here. Yeah, they put me in for 100 points on this table, where I've sat on a table for 20 minutes and gotten like 1,500 points. I was on this table forever, like 45 minutes to an hour, and they put me in for 100 points. What is this goofiness? Unless they're waiting for the camera to find out exactly. This is really interesting, actually, looking at this. Really. Huh. Anyway, ended up leaving with all that mixed stuff going on. I believe I was probably up close to 1,000, and in the car right now. Gonna take care of some personal stuff here, and then I'll come back and update you. Actually, I got more stories. All right, guys, I am back, and I just wanted to mention a little bit about some other stuff. I mentioned my conversation with the slot manager. There was also an interesting thing. There was on this poker table. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. A bunch of old men. One of them, his hands would shake so bad when he had a hand. It was kind of weird. I mean, his hands would really, really shake. And it was like an obvious thing when that would happen. But I just found it so hard to make money because everybody's just sitting there folding everything. And as soon as someone would raise, they would fold unless they had the nuts. And it was really hard to make money. I mean, you'd make $18, $12, $15, but you really couldn't make any money there. So I thought that was interesting. Another interesting thing is I went to a table, and the lady that I had mentioned that had run over from the other pit a while back, she ran over immediately, and I was ahead $150 on that one. I think I was back counting, and I said, well, I broke even, and I got up and I walked away. And I don't know, it looked like she didn't put anything in the system. I see like 5 or 6 entries in there for tables, even though I didn't have that many. And I see 0 as the amount of money that I won. So I don't know if I'm confusing the heck out of these people at this point or what they think is going on. I think that big drop yesterday really confused them too. So I don't know, my friends seem to think that maybe I've kind of won this round and that they're probably gonna, not leave me alone, but maybe I'm gonna have less heat on me now temporarily until something big happens. I don't know. But this weekend my focus is going to be A, crypto, and B, setting up my next trip. So at this point my thoughts are on my next trip, on crypto, on poker stuff, all kinds of things like that, on this credit card that's coming. And I kind of read the fine print on the credit card. It said you get 200,000 points if you charge 30,000 in 3 months. You get a total of 400,000 points if you charge 100,000 in 3 months. And I've got my plan worked out about how I'm going to charge 100,000 over the next 3 months to achieve that. Hopefully that all works out and I don't get shut down like I did with Wells Fargo. But this credit card allegedly doesn't have a limit, a purchase limit. So one other thing I learned from Wells Fargo is I made too many payments, I think, and that may have triggered something. Sorry, my kid's having that's the doorbell. My kid's having a party, so I'll be there soon. But what was I saying? I was talking about Wells Fargo and how I got shut down when I made too many payments. So I think they thought I was just circulating the same money, which I was. But I think what I'll do is I'll just make a payment like every 15 or 20 days. I was just trying to keep them so that they weren't gigantic and held up by the banks and stuff. But I think we could still make it work out, even with some $15,000 and maybe $15,000 payments might still be okay. So I think we've got it figured out for that card. So I'm going to focus on that as well. Also this weekend I'm going to close that American Express card. I did end up getting Home Depot gift cards because our new kitchen, we're going to need a new sink and some other stuff. So I thought I would do that. I got a $1,000 gift card for that. And then I had a little bit left over. I got some Starbucks gift cards for my daughter. She likes Starbucks a lot. So yeah, so all that stuff going on. We could do our segments right now. I don't think I'll do anything else tonight, although it's not out of the question, but if I do, I'll move it over to another episode. But what did you eat today, MW? I feel ashamed to say, not very much. I had some yogurt about 3 hours ago, and I had a couple sticks of mozzarella cheese. That's really about it. Kind of hard to give a rating to something like that. And what did you tip today, MW? You made $1,600, $150, $150. I know you lost a little bit on slots and stuff, but please let us know. How much did you tip today, MW? And I tipped $0. $0 in tips. Don't give your tips away. That's your money. That's your kids' money. That's your family's money. That's your future money. Build on that money. Buy gold, buy silver, buy stocks, put it in a money market. Do anything you want with it. I'm not a financial advisor, but do whatever you want with it. But please don't give it to those guys. They don't, let their employer take care of them. You're not their mom or dad. So, and what did you learn today, MW? Well, other than still learning that I'm pretty tired, I actually forgot about my daughter's party, and I kind of stayed too long at the casino, and then it's a 4-hour drive home. So yeah, I kind of blew it there. I did learn that I have been able to confuse these people a little bit. I am confusing the heck out of these people. When I had the slot guy that was taking pictures of my friends, and I walk up to him, I shake his hand and have a conversation with him for 5 minutes, and he's excited to talk to me and willing to talk to me. That is a big thing. When I go talk to the pit bosses and express about how I'm not doing well and I really need to win and all that kind of stuff, and they're on my side. And how I say that, I'm down for the day, even though I'm way up, I made them rethink the fact that I'm way up and put in the system that I broke even because they had no clue how much money I made. I am breaking these people, man, and it feels good. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it feels good. And I cashed like 2,500 at the high limit cashier. I cashed a few thousand in the poker room, and then cashed another couple hundred. And I think I'm doing a really good job, and the best that I could possibly do. And I'm lucky because this place is tolerant, and they have so much money flooding in that they really, I don't think they care that much about a small fry like me when there's people in there gambling 6 figures daily. And I'm really lucky. This is my last stand, but at least I'm lucky enough that it's good. So hoping to get my credit card really quick so I can charge a bunch of stuff I have coming up on that. We'll get the Chase card paid off completely, and then we'll figure out what to do with, I've got like 100 and something thousand points there too. Figure out what to do with those. We'll book our next trip, which is going to be to Vegas, hopefully for early January. And Vegas is beautiful early January. Temperature is in the 60s and stuff. That's awesome. You don't have to be sweating and stuff. You can walk around in shorts and relax. It's going to be good. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about playing a lot of Blackjack in Vegas as well, and seeing my friends there also. So really, that's about it. It snowed most of the day today. My destination was clear and my home area was clear. I see no snow on the ground at this point, but it was like very, very heavy snow falling earlier. And I don't know what I was doing. I was going way too fast, I think because I was behind schedule. But thankfully the snow is gone right now. It's clear and everything. The roads are nice and dry, and we're heading home. It's 19 degrees outside. The feel-like temperature is 5 degrees, and we're going to go home, and I'm going to take the kids that aren't in the party probably out to dinner somewhere, and should be good. So for now, I'm going to let you go. I'll catch up with you guys on Sunday. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.